Hey guys, Tamar Johnson here, and you are watching the Moneyball channel.
My next guest is Justin Grimm. Justin Grimm, Major League Baseball player, Georgia Bulldog, 2010, drafted from Georgia. Man, how you doing? What's happening?
Doing well, raising three boys, figuring out that next step and enjoying every step of it. So
I love it, man. It's a pleasure having you on the show. You know, I'm a baseball fanatic, so I try to get my mitts on as many baseball guys as I can. And then when I see Georgia Bulldogs or Atlanta Braves, it always it brings the excitement. I'm like a little kid when Georgia Bulldogs, man. A dream of mine for my three boys, we just talked about this, is that one of them is playing at Georgia one day, D1 baseball. Before we dive into your MLB career or anything else, man, tell me how much fun you had at Georgia. Let's talk about this.
yeah, no, Georgia was a good time. And I came from a small town. So Georgia was kind of like my first 6 months there was a shock.
Yeah.
Like you got kids coming from Marietta and all that Cobb County and like just bigger cities who, they handled it better right away, I guess.
Yeah.
Dude, it was a blast, man. I mean, I started off like my first 6 months, like it was fun just to go to the dining hall and eat like late at night. Like
Yep.
what?
Yep.
Yeah, I had fun, man. I mean, I learned a lot of lessons. Met my wife there; she was a
Yeah.
gymnast, and simply just being around those guys from all different backgrounds,
Yep.
like it was great for me, and that's probably the most I really grew as a person, honestly. And I had to grow fast, man.
Yeah.
I went to my first party. I had a double pop collar flipped up.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
And I remember my buddy, like he goes, his name's Brett Holman. He goes, Grimmer, get over here. He like calls me out. He's like, what are you wearing? And I was like, bro, I look good. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, I look great. He snickers and he goes, told my roommate, he goes, hey man, go get him some clothes on and bring him back. And so like the first 2.5 years, I was like the DD, until I turned 21. I was just driving guys back and forth, like, I was that guy. I didn't care. Like I wanted to be up, I wanted to be around it, but I didn't want to do it.
You know what though, dude? That says a lot too. Though you were smart. There's so many guys, man, that are in that position you were in. That the temptation comes calling, man, and like dude, I've talked to so many guys, careers are over because of bad decisions, being underage, whatever. You still were smart enough to say, I have this position here at Georgia. I don't want to cost myself, and I'm fine being the DD. I just don't want to do anything stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So, that my mindset was the whole time I was in Georgia, my mindset was like, hey, I'm out of here in 3 years. Let's do what I need to do. Because my end goal was I'm playing professional baseball. Figure it out.
I'm looking at this stuff. You come in 2012. You're the first pitcher, okay? First rookie, 7 strikeouts, no walks. There was Steven Strasburg. There was Justin Grimm, okay? Now you're talking pretty elite. I mean, Strasburg, Grimm, right under him, right? I mean, 7 strikeouts, no walks. And I always ask this stuff with pitchers because there's so much that goes into it between staying healthy, mentally staying healthy, all of the things. Like, dude, you were absolutely nasty. You had all the tools, you had all the pitches. I went back and looked at highlights from back in the day, and I know what you're saying. You were like, man, I don't even know how. You just naturally had the talent, without even knowing. And like, there's the expectations then, you know what I mean? Like you go in and you throw that way, and then it's like just expected. Anyone who does very well at any job in their life, then the expectations come. Tell me about that rookie year, like how you felt. First of all, walking up to the mound the first time had to be incredible.
So ironically, my parents were in Frisco when I was in AA. I had just started against Midland and had a pretty good outing. I was having a really good year, and we're driving to the park. And on the radio, they mentioned my name because we had 3 starters go down like within a week. And I remember, I think it was Colby Lewis or it might have been Ogando who stepped on the bag, snapped an ankle or something like that. I hear my name and I just look at my parents. I'm like, it ain't gonna happen. Like we got 2 prospects in AAA right now.
Oh, you were in double?
I was in Double A.
Wow.
We
Okay.
had two top pitching prospects in Triple A, not doing great, but not like they had the experience with the organization. And I get to the field that day, and Michelle calls me in and said, "Hey, you're having a great season." And he goes, "You're my starting pitcher for the All-Star team." Over the break, so make your plans. He goes, I think we got a little different plans. You're not going to be pitching the All-Star game. You're going to be pitching against Houston this weekend, Saturday.
Wow.
He goes, tell your parents to stick around. Well, I was like, oh, this is great. I remember I couldn't, when I told my parents, I almost cried.
Oh yeah.
I hold it back,
Yeah.
And so, I still kind of hold it back when I'm telling people stories sometimes.
And I love that.
It's gratitude of I did do that. It's a reminder.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to forget. It's oh, that's the past, whatever. But I remember stepping foot on that mound the first time, and it was like energy just rolling through me. But as soon as I threw that first pitch, I can't even remember if it was a ball or strike, to be honest with you. I remember just thinking I aimed it. It was 88 miles. I throw 94 miles an hour. It was 88 aimed.
Yeah.
But after that, it was let's go. I ended up going deep in the game, 6 1/3, I believe.
Yeah. Yep. So you threw 88 pitches and 60 were for strikes or something.
Yeah. And I remember after that game, I was on top of the world. I didn't even sleep that night. So I ended up sitting in the bullpen for 2 weeks. I'm enjoying the big leagues. Life's good. Yep. Well, then I get another start against Detroit, and I don't think I made it out of third inning. And that was probably the best thing that happened to my career. It's oh, you made it. Boom. No, you didn't get to work.
And you got that feeling of how quick it can go. Yep.
You're not that good. And so, my high school coach always told me, he goes, just remember this. He goes, there's two people in the game of baseball, those who are humble and those who are about to be humble.
I love that.
And that always stuck with me.
I've never heard that before, and I love it.
Yeah. And it's so true. I don't care how good you are. Your day's coming. Derek Jeter talks about all the time. Yeah. Your day's going to come where you're going to have to handle failure. And so, I was handling failure right away. I handled it through college for the first time. That was really the first time all right, I got to get to work. I'm not as good as I think I am. There were definitely flashes of that. But, you just got to keep your head. For me, putting in the work, working out, I love to work. I still work out. I work out 5 times a week because I love to do that. That part was not hard for me. Putting in the work was not hard for me because I enjoyed it. Right. And that's what kept my mind right. I'm like, man, I did something today.
Yep.
As soon as it was over, I felt better. It didn't matter. My job today is to recover, and then, hey, Mike Maddox, hey, I want to show you something. Let's go to the video room. And that's why you gave up 7 runs.
Right.
You're getting into bad counts. Now you're having to go to them versus, so it's all right, boom, let's move on. And then you throw a bullpen, and then it's man, that was a good bullpen. I'm back. That felt good. For me, it was just constantly putting in that work. And sometimes it got to be an anxiety thing. Hey, I got to do this because I got anxiety and I want to get rid of it.
Yep. So, and that would help, right? That would get rid of it. For me, dude, even now when I get anxiety or when you start to get, I go work out, and that's my medicine. You feel so much better after. I can only imagine at that level, the anxiety's got to be that much more when you're dealing with that kind of pressure, man. And you know what I'm noticing about you when you're talking is everything for you happens so fast, right? From the high school, all of a sudden being seen to the 60 scouts to all of a sudden Double A and getting a phone call that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen, man. Like you said, the AAA guys got hurt, whatever happened, and all of a sudden you're starting. So for you, man, you never really got a chance to prepare, really, if that's fair to say. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of all right, Justin, go. We want to see what you got. Go. It seems like that.
Yeah, I feel like I was so, especially coming from Double A to big leagues. I'm hey, they're not necessarily throwing me the wolves. They wouldn't have put me in that situation if they didn't feel like I was ready. Yeah. But a personal feeling, I'm those doubts went through my mind. Absolutely. I had 4 days to harp on it. I'm going to the big leagues, and I was there in the dugout, which I don't know if I was supposed to be or not, but I was there in the dugout watching 2 big league games before my start on that Saturday, or I think it was Saturday. I don't know, but it was like I'm sitting in that dugout, like I'm rooting on my teammates, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, I'm here, but am I ready? Like
Yeah.
the only thing that you can do is show up and find out, and a lot of positive self talk in those moments, combating my thoughts. Yes, you're ready.
Justin, did you almost have, they call it imposter syndrome. Did you almost feel that a little bit, like,
Oh man, I was faking it.
you know
Like,
what I'm saying? Like, because
yeah,
like, man, what am I doing here? Right. You get that feeling.
yeah. No, I mean, it took me. It was 2015, halfway through the year. I finally was waking up like, dude, you belong here.
Yeah.
You're like you showed you proved it to yourself, and that was more for me, not my bosses or whatever. That was me. Internal feeling like, hey, you belong here. So I think that kind of that internal battle. I mean, when I was in college, hey man, I just want to get drafted.
Yep.
Well, now I'm drafted. I just want to get to the big leagues. Well, now you're in the big leagues. Well, hey, I want to go make some money. I want to play 3 years.
Exactly.
Well, and then you start making money. You're like, I want to do this for 10.
Exactly.
And so it's constant. There's always that constant goal or whatever. It's changing. And if it's not changing, man, like go find something else to do.
I love hearing this come out of your mouth. And this is so engaging to me because this is pretty much so. I love, conversations like this where I can relate. Like, I feel like I'm talking to one of my friends or so. That's how I was with Winks too, because the stuff you're saying is so relatable. It's kind of where I'm at. I've had this show a couple of years, had some mega stars on the show and this and that. Right. And sometimes that self-doubt comes in. You're like, what, you know what I mean? Like, well, because I'm supposed to be here, like I earned it. I put my work in and this is where I'm at. And so I get that feeling, like the sitting on the sidelines or whatever it is. And then finally, you wake up and you're like, yeah, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. For me, it's the credentials. For you, it's actually playing and making the money. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's really interesting, man. And you played for what, 6 teams, 7 teams? How many teams you play for?
Yeah, that doesn't count spring training when I was like, hey, I'm gonna go somewhere else because like, man, I can't tell you. There were 2 camps that stick out in my mind as like, I'm one of the best dudes available right now, and you're sending me down. I'm out of here. Like, what does that tell you how you value me? That's another thing is like just managing that emotion. That's one time I probably should have managed my emotion. I was with the Indians and I ended up going to the Dodgers in AAA. And if I was stuck with the Indians, I guarantee I would have been in the big leagues within the first month. And
you're probably right. There's those things too. And you can't take the regret with you, right? You can't live with regret. And you got to think about it. You were young. Think about now being 36 years old and a dad of boys, right? And then think about that, because I do the same things, man. You were a young man and you had some money, you're the man. You're playing Major League Baseball. And I love what you said about humbling and your humility and how quick that can change. So even going out, slaying it, the first couple of games, what goes on for a pitcher where your stuff might change, like going into the next year, you're like all of a sudden it's like a 6 ERA. What tell me that, like how do things change that quickly? Is it mental? Because you still had the pitches.
Yeah, well, first it's just getting your teeth kicked in, and like after being in the big leagues a while, first time it happens, you're like, whatever, one off. Then it happens again. And then guys won't admit this, but that self-doubt enters faster in your mind than it does to build that confidence for years. I mean, as soon as it happens, self-doubt, boom, right away. Like it happens very fast. So a lot of it's mental, maybe it's a guy overthinking of his pitch. Like if my pitch was a curveball, there were times when I'm like, dude, I cannot throw this damn thing for a strike. What is going on? Now, did I go compete with that? No. When I go compete, it's like, hey, dude, it's me versus you. Let's go.
Okay. I love that.
It doesn't always work out that way, right? But like, I think that's kind of what kept me afloat for a while, especially when I was younger. It was simply just going and competing. Like there's a time to go work on this and worry about this. But when it's go time, put it all aside and let's go. Put the phone down. Wife's going to be fine for 2 hours until the whole world's out. We're right here. We're at this game. And if your name gets called, you just got to go with what you got. And, Ken Bravizza used to say this. He's like, you don't always need your best stuff. How many times have you made a pitch and got a pop up and you're walking off the mound like you're the man? Wasn't that good of a pitch.
Or your defense bailed you out, right?
Yeah. So from that mental. A lot of it is mental. When a guy gets in a funk, it's mostly mental
and tough to dig out of, man. At any
yeah.
level, I coach these kids travel baseball, and you'll be, I don't, if you like coaching, you'll certainly be doing it with your three boys. And
I got to learn to be patient, man. I am
it
so
took me, it took me a long time, like, especially with kids though, dude. But if you can take what you've been through and preach to these kids, man, you'd be an amazing coach. I'm telling you right now, I can tell by your personality, and I can tell by you recognizing everything you're saying. Like, there's no denial. You're super raw. You're super authentic, dude. And transparency and just being honest with these kids at all levels. Like these 11-year-olds, that it's funny, man. They'll come and they'll start pitching. They're like, I got a 4-seam curve. And, they don't even know what they're saying. And they're trying to throw all these pitches. And I'm like, dude, throw it over the plate. Let your defense do the work. Right. And then naturally it'll happen. But it's tough because my son, for example, right, will get on himself. He'll pitch, he'll throw a strikeout, and then he'll walk a guy. And you just see his body language, like you see the head drop and you see the mitt go down, and it's like somebody popped the balloon, man. And that's what, and it's every level though. Major leaguers, same thing. You guys just hide it better,
That's right. Yep. No, you're right. I was coaching my kids 6U flag football that, I'm always the assistant coach. I want to show up. I want to help. Like, I need somebody who's patient. So I'm like, but I'm by myself. I'm sitting here. I'm like, guys, we need to learn these plays. And I literally said, it's like, hey, I'm the quarterback. If we're going toss right, which way we going? Half of them are pointing left. And I'm like, I just go, guys, do we know our right from our left? We need to know these plays. Like, what are we doing? And like, I ended up texting one of the dads who was sitting there watching, and I was like, and he's actually my kid's baseball coach. And I was like, dude, like, am I too hard? Like, I just want him to have fun. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, like, if you're here, let's be here.
Yeah.
But I lead that practice like, man, they're 6. Hopefully, I want them to have fun. And he's like, dude, it's who you are. You're competitive. You're disciplined. But like, dude, they were all smiling at the end of practice. Like,
I'm sure you made it fun. Yeah, I'm sure you made it fun. But you're a competitor, man. And I can see that with you too. Like, you're a competitor. So you're not. You probably go out with your buddies, play around at golf, and it's not like. I'm sure you're competitive, right? Like you're trying to win, and that's tough for somebody like you. These kids are probably picking their nose and stuff, and you're trying to get them to run right and left. Like there's
it depends on who I'm golfing with. That's the answer to golf. Yeah. So my problem with golf is I swing really hard. So like if something's on the line, I'm like, hey, I'm going for it. And 75% of the time it doesn't work out. As if I'd have just took a nice easy swing. Like I know this, but like it's golf. I don't.
Well, you probably rock the thing 380, but it's either in the woods, right, or you strike it lucky.
That's right. So and like I'm getting to the point like I've been doing it for a couple of years. Like with golf, dude, I'm gonna take lessons. Like I'm sick of just having a good round and a bad round.
Dude, it's the inconsistency is insane. I won't keep you all day, man, but a couple more questions just about the baseball. The transition then, right? So you're still a young guy, and it's been a couple years, I think, since you retired. So what in your brain was like, all right, I'm done. It's time to hang up the cleats. Like that had to be a battle with you, right? Like tell me how that transition.
So I would say I was having a fairly solid year in Oakland, kind of just essentially being the veteran on the team, but the young guys were getting opportunities, and I was sitting there battling that internally. But when my name got called, I was showing up, I was doing my job, and so then it was time for all the young AAA guys that with a team like Oakland, like, hey, we're not going to win the World Series this year. We're going to get these guys ready, like JP Sears. Some of the guys you're seeing now, they're very good. They're very good baseball players. That was kind of the moment I was like, man, like you're going into spring training every year. You're proving that you're one of the best available right-handers, whether that gets you on the team or not.
Right. And
I was going to go after it the next year, and I kind of was. I wasn't sure if I was done. I was like, man, I still can. I'm still 93, 94. Right. Like that's no slouch. Like, I still got really good breaking balls with good stuff. Like, I was holding my own in Oakland last year against a solid AL hitting, but the calls just didn't come, honestly.
Okay.
Not even, I don't know if it had to do anything with like, AAA players, AA, single A, all now making more money. And they were like, hey, we got to kind of cut this into what this is. And
well, I hate to even say this, but your veteran minimum, would have been like, because that's a huge factor for these teams,
Yeah. From what I hear, I mean, guys that are getting signed to AAA that for depth, I mean, it's not paying what it used to pay in the sense, unless you're like a starter or something. But I don't know that for a fact. But
You don't want to be playing double A ball right now, dude. You know what I mean? Like you
yeah,
went and played big leagues and that, right?
yeah, I kind of got to that point in my head. I'm like, hey, I had two boys at home. It's like, hey, look, I have proved this year over year over year. You want me to come into spring training to fight for a position. I've proved that I'm one of your better right-handers right here, right now. Even with your 23-year-olds coming in blowing 97,
Yeah.
like I'm here,
Yeah.
like, and I'm ready, but I'm not. I'm done going and sitting in Iowa or wherever that is for 4 months to see if somebody's going to get injured like that. I got two boys at home. I want to be home, and that's it's been so much fun. Like it's been stressful. It's been fun. It's been all the things that it's supposed to be. But like I was able to walk away. Honestly, I was probably bitter for 6 months. I was just bitter.
Okay. And that's natural, man. That's natural emotion.
Oh yeah, and all natural emotions, but not using my kids, but do gratitude. Like looking back, like sitting back now that I'm away from the game, like where you started, where you finished, like
it's crazy.
You did great, man. But now,
hell yeah, you did, man. Hell yeah.
Identity wise, I mean, dude, that's not easy. Like my phone used to ring because, hey, man, I'm a baseball player. I'm in such and such. Like, love to hang out. Leave a couple tickets, whatever. But those calls stop. The lights dim a lot.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not a baseball player anymore. Who am I? Type.
I got you.
I don't care if you made 100 million or if you made 1 million or 20,000. Like honestly, sometimes I envy those guys that they played in the minor league 6 years and they went on and they got their job and they moved. Yeah. Like they're able to move on because they have to. It's like, hey, I got an apartment to pay for or whatever that is. I got a girlfriend, whatever.
Can I say a couple things though in regards to that, man? You're and again the energy, man, that you put off, the raw authenticism. Like I get what you're saying with that too, right? It's the identity, right? It's, well, who am I now? I was this ball player, and your whole life you were known as the man, the ball player, dude, from the small town all the way up. But I mean, you are so blessed, man. You got these three boys, this beautiful wife, and I'm calling you for an interview. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't ever take away what you have, and you got a World Series ring. Right. I mean, looking back as someone, so reverse the roles, and somebody like me looking at you, I'm calling you for an interview, bro. Cause these stories, I love them. I absolutely love these stories. And I would legit talk to you for 5 hours about them. If you ever come to Buffalo, dude, I'm going to take you to the best chicken wing joint there is. And we'll have a real good time. It's just so I get kind of what you're saying, not to speak for you at all. I'm not doing that, but I dig what you're saying, like with the emotion stuff, and you just go from being the major league ball player to now who am I, right?
Absolutely. And dude, that's gonna be a work in progress. But you know what? Like at the end of the day, like no matter what else I do, people are gonna be like, man, that guy won a World Series with the Cubs. It doesn't, like, you're not going to get rid of that, and that's fine. I'm good with it. Like, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like, hey, like for me, where I'm at, it's time to move on.
Yeah, next chapter.
Like and I've been sitting around, I've been golfing a lot, like raising these boys, and like I'm to the point mentally, I'm like, hey, I gotta get back out there. I gotta get some goals. I gotta like get some structure, because you can only do so many workouts, golf so many times before it becomes a reality. Like, hey, I gotta do something.
You'll know.
Yeah.
You'll know. It'll pop in your head, and next thing you know, you'll be running a training facility for pitchers or something. Like, dude, you'll know. And enjoy the time right now, because you worked your butt off to get where you are, and enjoy it. You deserve what you're doing right now, man. Like playing the golf. You know how many guys your age get to truly enjoy their son, their sons, like you're getting right now? Like that is priceless, dude. That's priceless. Some guys, say you're a trucker out on the road or something, or you don't get to see them, whatever. So what you have right now is so priceless, and it's just gonna pop one day. You're gonna be like, man, I think I should do this, right? And you're already dabbling a little bit with different things, man. So me
and my boy, we rode bikes to school together, and I was on my way back. I'm like, dude, I wouldn't trade that for anything. Like he he was having a blast on the
Right.
way, and
having their dad around, like, you don't know how happy they are, right? Like, you're their superhero, bro, right? I mean,
I don't think they've really grasped any of it yet.
oh, no way.
Like, so it's just dad.
We had a guy, he's a Buffalo boy. He's a crazy good player. Matty Barr is this 19-year-old pitcher that you're going to hear a lot about. 6'6". He's a lefty. He's been on the show. The kid's incredible. He should be a first couple. Point is, it's tough in this area because of our weather, dude. Like, we started our travel league and we've been out, like, it's raining now. It's raining constantly. It's cold. It's Buffalo. But we were playing in a travel league last year, the same school and we looked over at the bench, and the head coach won a World Series ring with the Dodgers. I forgot who it was. It's like 5-6 years ago. But I see what you're saying. That's who their team was. That's how they were defined. And this team was nasty, right? They were so good, but it was like, yeah, dude, that coach, he's a World Series, so like that's always going to travel with you for good and bad. You know what I mean? Because it's pretty cool to be Justin Grimm, the guy with the 2016 World Series ring, but you don't want it to define your future either, right?
For sure. Yeah. And I think, I'm like, hey, I'm way more than that. I'm a father. I'm a father just like you. Like, you may be going to work every day, but, most people I talk to, it's like, man, I'm still trying to figure out life. And I'm going, it's like, we're all the same. We're on the same path that, doesn't really matter. And, you said, I appreciate you saying I was authentic because I truly try to be, man. Like,
you are. No, you are.
I feel like that, in this world, people try to be somebody they're not, or
posers everywhere, man.
It's all this fake thing that they build, whether it's through social media or whatever. And man, just be authentic. And if they love you, they love you. If they don't, then I'm sorry. We'll try to find common ground.
Dude, you're spot on. And let me ask you a couple fun questions, man. I'll let you get for the day here. Yeah. You and I are hanging out. We're gonna order a pizza. What toppings you going with?
Dude, sausage and honey.
Sausage and what?
Sausage and honey.
Honey.
Drizzled sausage, cheese, honey.
Really? Okay. All right. Let's talk about this now. Let's talk about this. Is it just plain old honey?
Yeah, just drizzle the honey and then bake it. There's this place close by to me. It's called Bricks, and it's like wood-fired pizza.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
They have this sausage and honey pizza. It's unbelievable.
That's the one.
It's my go-to from now on. Like, if I tried to make a pizza myself, I try to recreate it.
Are you a chicken wing guy?
I love chicken wings. Yep. The just plain, not air fried, but like
just the deep fried wings.
No, it's the way they make them. It's like a bone dry rub. Like,
yeah, all right, yeah.
You know what I'm talking?
Have you been up to Buffalo? Have you been to Buffalo?
I haven't been to Buffalo, but dude, like, if I eat sauce, like. You give me I'll just start profusely sweating it. I think I'm sensitive to it.
Yeah. Well, you could do barbecue though, right?
I can do barbecue. Yeah, all day.
So the Buffalo, obviously, we're known for the chicken wing. Doesn't have to be the hot wings. If you ever get the chance, we do a chicken wing festival. It's at the AAA, the Buffalo Bison's AAA stadium, and they come from all over the place. The people that won the last couple of years are from England, London. So people fly in from all over, and they set up camp, and you just walk around. You buy tickets, and you try all these different chicken wings. It's a pretty cool event, man. But it's usually like the barbecue or the different flavors that win, like dill pickle and all these wacky flavors. So thank you so much for taking the time. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, appreciate you having me.
And hopefully we'll talk again soon, man.
Awesome. Hey, thanks for the time.
Take care, brother. Bye.
Bye-bye.